So a lot of consolidation is going on all throughout the map. We've got the Northeast with New England. We've got California and the Southwest. We've got still kind of a struggle going on between the Canadian provinces and the northern states, but I'm sure there will be a powerhouse that forms very soon. I mean, though it is cool that Wyoming is getting bigger and bigger, I don't think we can consider them a powerhouse per se. Nevada's a good ally. Kansas is an okay ally. And Iowa's still very small, but we'll see. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to be, they're not really disliked by very many. So if Wyoming now attacks with Washington, then perhaps they could do something. But there's going to be a point where they'd probably have to fight Missouri. Who is Missouri allied to? Ooh, Missouri's got a lot of friends. Small friends, but they still have a lot of friends. I don't know. And let's not forget, I mean, we're going to see the continual threat from the Europeans. I'm not sure when that first war is going to go down. I'm hoping that I don't miss it, which it's likely that I might, perhaps, but we'll see. I think we're still a few videos away, maybe 4 or 5 videos away before we see a big threat from the Europeans. I'm not saying that we won't see a war. We probably will. Georgia versus... Oh, that's the other Georgia. That's the first time that's happened. I should have expected that a lot longer ago. Still, we have got a lot of Mexican states going at it, and Mongolia, Muscovy fighting a big war against the Uzbek right now. So we will see a powerful Russia. Veracruz, there's a war. Virginia South, oh my gosh, this is a big one. Versus West Virginia. Ooh, who did West Virginia call in? Indiana and Ohio. That's not going to go too well. There's no way. So the Deep South, again, working together. It's actually Virginia that is, I think, benefiting the most from this. Geez, Tennessee's involved too. So that's going to be pretty messy. But Indiana, Ohio, and West Virginia, they all have like direct contact with everybody. So I don't know if Florida's going to be able to consolidate, as well as South Carolina will be able to consolidate up with Virginia. Probably Tennessee. This might be a little bit closer than we're expecting, but maybe not. Let's see who has that stack right there. That's a pretty good number. That's a pretty good number. Is there anything? They do have morale on their side. They definitely have a lot of morale on their side. So they're going to win that with the numbers and the morale. Oh, but they have reinforcements. Never mind. They called in reinforcements. Now Tennessee's coming in with a 17.2 stack. Florida hasn't even moved yet, which they are. So that will make things a little bit more different, I guess you could say. How's Pennsylvania doing? Pennsylvania doing not too well. Wait a second. Are you vassal? No, it looked kind of like it. I wasn't sure. But now New England and Virginia do claim New England could totally set their sights right now on Virginia. This would be the best time to do it, while they're also involved into an okay war. I mean, I don't know if you'd want to fight Tennessee. Did they ally to Tennessee? They did. The Deep South working together here. A lot of these provinces I don't think are very well developed, but because they're working together, they're a big threat. Very scary region. I wouldn't want to attack this region. Where, like the Northwest in the Canadian provinces and in the northern states, very divided, I think, in their alliances. It's not like just a big region all coming together like that. So it just really makes things very different. Also, I didn't mention this. Arizona was destroyed. They were able to escape for a little while inside of Baja California, but then California changed their mind and went after them. So let's keep an eye on that for a little bit into the future. What else do we see? Any other wars that I might be accidentally missing? Veracruz is somewhat winning their war. We've got Virginia at 3 war score. Western Australia and New South Wales versus Queensland, Australian Capital Territory, and Tasmania. But you know what? Western Australia is losing this. Even though it's pretty much 2-on-2 because Tasmania is not going to be able to do that much. Wow. How is that happening? Queensland isn't involved? Oh, yeah, they are. Never mind. I'm spoken crack. Yeah, they are clearly involved. I think is it Queensland's development or no? Maybe they just switched spots. They haven't even really battled each other yet. A 19 stack versus a 22 stack. Looks like this is going to go to the advantage of Western Australia since they do have a 2-star general over a 1-star general. More than likely, and a lot of Australia is desert, so there's not a lot of rough terrain. So they could be the offensive, they could start an offensive battle and not have to worry about terrain modifiers at all. Has this war ended at all? I don't see any occupations yet. Oh, Missouri, someone got involved. Oh, never mind. These are occupations from Virginia. That looked very similar to Missouri's color, so I was like, oh, Missouri decided to backstab. Kind of, somewhat backstab. Oh, there is a war. Oh. Oh, I'm dumb. Oh, this is... Wait a second. Is this is occupied by Virginia? Okay, so at first I just thought the colors were Missouri. Then I was like, oh, no, that's Virginia. Never mind. Missouri's not at war with Indiana. Then, boom, a war with Indiana starts. New England is involved. Here's the thing, though. Actually, this might be a very rare case, because I just mentioned it, but New England, I don't think they can get over here. Can they? They're hated by Virginia, so why would they get it from Virginia or Ontario? They're rebuilding. Oh, they're going through. Never mind. It's just possible. They can just always do it. I will just no longer make the argument anymore. Indiana's just being cut in half, but New England is on their way. I feel like... See, here's the thing. New England is in a really, really tough spot. I would suggest against going into this war. I was looking at their cores just like, boom, being finished right there because we saw the lines disappearing. New England's in a tough spot because they're forced to defend Indiana right now, and there I go with India again. And they have to do it because they only have really one friend at this point. But it's like, it's just so tough for New England. They're in a really, really tough spot. Their only friend is now under siege from the Deep South and Missouri. Missouri's by themselves still. They are. They need this friendship. Or they need to get liked. They need to be liked by more people, something. Because, Pennsylvania at one province and Maryland at one province, not going to do that much. Although Maryland, I think, maybe made a little bit of a difference in the Ontario War. So Virginia pieced out. They're going to have to fight a few separatists, but West Virginia has been destroyed. So Virginia's looking pretty strong right now. They are occupied by the separatists, but that's fine. They're going to get wiped out very soon. So you know what? I think New England is going to be okay. I think they're going to be safe here. This is Indiana, the attacker, pushing back Missouri. As long as Missouri doesn't call any of their, thousands of allies. I mean, they've got a lot of allies. Oh, Pennsylvania is involved in the war too. So, bam, Missouri's going to have to run back. So, you know what? I think New England's going to save Indiana, which was kind of desperately needed because New England needs alliances. Ontario still has all their alliances. And I can almost bet that Ontario is not going to go to war with New England again without friends this time. That's the only thing that would have separated that war previously. New England probably would have lost that, but Ontario went into it solo, and that was a bad idea. Now, does Indiana have any cores? They have claims on Missouri's lands, so that could make a big difference. Is there any more occupations that are going on? Nothing really. Virginia looking real good. Jeez, look at these alliances. Missouri, South Carolina, Florida. No longer allied to Tennessee, though. They must have had to annul the Tennessee alliance, which was a smart move, to be honest, because Tennessee's like the weakest link. You gotta remove the weakest link. Unfortunately. Still, Mexico is a pretty big mess. I still don't see a dominant force. Sonora's still doing good. And Cholo, how did I pronounce this before? I know that I was wrong however I pronounced it previously, but I don't even remember how I pronounced it before. Okay, anything else? Western Australia. Victoria now going after Western Australia, and they're winning that one. That's kind of weird, because Western Australia is winning this war, but they're losing this war against Victoria. So things are going to change drastically again in Australia. Shouldn't be a big surprise. Missouri's at 0 war score, and that is it so far for the Superstates mods. Let's go and check in on Australia, though. How you guys looking? Yep, Victoria is looking a lot better. Victoria, I think, really set it over the edge. Remember, the Queensland is... wait a second. Did somebody... Yeah, New South Wales is gone. They must have severed peace with them. Things are looking really different here. Very different. Yeah, there's New South Wales separatists. Well, I don't know. This is a big mess. Australia's a huge mess, but we'll come back at the end of the video to see whatever happens, whatever goes down there. Let's check in on some of the colonies. So what colonial nation formed here? Nothing yet. This will probably be called the whatever, the Caribbean or something like that. Spain has at least 2 colonists, so they'll be going after something else. England still has not established a foothold just yet in the St. Martin Island. How about Portugal? Yep, Portuguese Brazil has formed. It'll be interesting to see also who supports the independence from North America, because I can guarantee you people are going to be supporting independence, not really from Brazil, but maybe somebody like Haiti in the Caribbean or something like that. All right, Missouri is, I believe, going to start to lose this. Yep, -25, which means Indiana's going to get powerful. This has ended up being very successful for New England. Washington is in war. Yep, that is what I thought. Missouri set their sights on Washington. That was exactly what we just said they needed to do at the beginning of this video. Very, very smart move. Now they just need to win it, obviously. They will be fighting a 2-front war. But this still will... Oh, actually a 3-front war. Colorado, Iowa, and Washington just versus Wyoming and Nevada. Maybe this won't be as one-sided as maybe we're thinking. I expected Wyoming to call in a few more of their allies, maybe get Kansas involved. And I wasn't expecting Washington to get Colorado involved either. This is going to be a tough one. I know that Wyoming isn't super... Nothing they have isn't very well developed, so that's kind of an issue. I believe Washington is, though, somewhat. They've got 10 development here in a few provinces. Wyoming is going to be, I'm guessing... Oh, there's 13 in their capital. Yeah, that's pretty good. And it's okay in Montana. There's a few, okay. Yeah, some of the capital provinces of the states are pretty well depthified. I don't know if I'm just making up words now. Now I'm just making up words. Like at this point, I've already been making up pronunciation. California, who is pronunciate? Was it pronunciate? Yeah. California, oh, that's going to save Wyoming. California's now going after Washington. So that will change the tide for Wyoming. Oh, Kansas is involved in their own war against Oklahoma and Tennessee. That's why they didn't join in with Wyoming. Missouri is losing this by -43 war score. Nevada also, oh my gosh. The western states going crazy. Also, Oregon joined in against Washington. So, this is probably... Wyoming is going to survive this without losing anything, but California is probably going to take most of everything if they get here fast enough. Yep, they already have. Well, what are these occupied? This is occupied by Nevada, because Nevada got into a solo war. Oregon... No, I'm sorry. Nevada is helping out Wyoming. Tennessee is also fighting... Who is it? Oklahoma? Yeah, this is what's going on here. Seems like it should be a pretty easy win for... Maybe not. It seems like Kansas should win this, but I don't know. Nevada has already occupied Colorado, so Nevada might take over all of northern Colorado at least. Oh, man, we're going to see some states get very blobby very soon. There's going to be a lot of blobbiness that occurs very soon here. And then the only big state that we'll see probably losing territory will be Missouri at this point. This is getting interesting. It's only 15:24. Still, I don't really know if I have an end date for the campaign. It's just kind of going with the flow, waiting for the next expansion of EU4 to come out. I don't know if we would go all the way to 1821. It really depends on how entertaining it is. I think that we're just kind of... I think it's still, just as maybe it was getting more stale with less states, bringing in the Europeans is going to make things even more interesting. And then the formidable nations will make things interesting. I mean, there's really not even great... There hasn't been a great war in North America yet, and I can imagine that there will be. Either the Europeans will be a threat to the Superstates mods, or there's just going to be a bigger and bigger war, like maybe like a big epic California versus a big epic New England or Ontario or Florida or something like that. I think we will start to see like just 4 or 5 states, and that's it. Just poof, huge wars. I don't know, but we'll see. It seems that way since Washington will not be doing too well anymore. Dang. Yeah, they're fighting a pretty big force. How's Kansas doing? I don't know yet. Oh, Tennessee has come to save the day for Oklahoma. It's Oklahoma that's going to grab most of their cores back, though, so Kansas won't be as powerful. Bam, Nevada did eat up northern Colorado. So there that goes. And who has grabbed... Wait, is the war over? Oh, they did. They just ended the war. And Nevada was actually the one to take most of the stuff, too. It wasn't even... It wasn't even Wyoming. They didn't take over anything from Iowa. Iowa looks still the same. And yeah, they didn't take anything. Poor Wyoming. Just made it. Well, was it Wyoming that declared the war, or was it Nevada? Because it might have been Nevada. I might be smoking crack there, and I might have missed that Nevada was the caller of that offensive war. Oh, Alberta. Look at that. Alberta's reinforced. Well, I mean, California's another 15 stack if they want to bring that up. Yep, they're going to get pushed back down. How's Oregon doing? Surprised that Oregon is doing okay. So Washington is only really facing California and a very, they could quickly wipe out Oregon. Maybe this won't be a fall of Washington like we initially thought. Missouri, I think definitely. I think Missouri, that's a safe bet. Oh, and what is going on here? Bam, Ontario once again going in after Wisconsin, going in after Northern Michigan, probably like the Minnesota region too. Well, it seems like Manitoba is more taking over Minnesota. Ontario's looking for Michigan and Wisconsin to kind of eat up. Seems somewhat that way. Kansas is at negative 47 war score, so Oklahoma's going to make a slight comeback here. We'll see for how long. California's at 7 war score. I think they might be able to handle it, but they've got to get their stuff together. Yep, they're already at 68. This is interesting. Wisconsin. So Ontario, they must be all involved in a solo war. Missouri's at negative 684 war score. Muscovy now at war with the Timurids. I just want to keep an eye on Muscovy because they will form a threat. Russia will be a pretty big threat. Ontario did form. It's a separate war. That's interesting. Against Wisconsin. Oregon's at negative 5 war score. The Uzbek, Western Australia still fighting. Superior versus Wisconsin too. Oh man, everyone's trying to eat away at Wisconsin. California's still at 7 war score, or did the war end? They're at 20 war score now, so they did shift it back towards their side. That's what I figured. I figured they'd kind of make it better. Boom! So all of Minnesota has been taken. They even grabbed a province away from modern-day Wisconsin. So now we're going to see the same thing from Ontario. Ontario is going to do the same thing. How's Ontario felt from the Deep South? The Deep South, well, Virginia, kind of the leader at this point. At first, I thought Florida would be the leader of the Deep South, but I think at this point it's kind of Virginia because they are on the front lines of the enemies. So they'll be the ones that eat away at these provinces like Indiana, Ohio, New England, and Ontario. Indiana looks better. They did take, looks like 4 provinces. So looking better. Illinois. Look, I've got a chance to say Illinois correct. Oh gosh, I messed up. Illinois correctly. I guarantee you, I've said it like that for like my entire life. Ah man, I must be just really what's the word? I don't know. Too Californian, I guess. Jeez, I apologize, making California look so bad. But yeah, I should be able to say Illinois correctly from here on out. And now, whenever I hear that, I will have to correct somebody because no one corrected me for like 23 years. One of my first words was Illinois. So it's drastically changed. Georgia, nope, that's the Golden Horde. Just wanted to check. Anyways, guys, looks like I'm going to stop right there. Washington will be eaten, I think, by California. I don't think they're going to be destroyed, though. We will see. And there will be a few other changes that occur, I think, very soon. But let's check in on Australia. Bam. Queensland just took everything back and even more. Western Australia looking much weaker now with only 3 provinces. Anyways, guys, I'm going to stop right there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.